What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Gravity. And I'm very happy to say I have a newcomer coming to my channel as far as a guest, and that is my friend Mike over with his channel, The Z Review. As usual, you guys can find the link to anybody who appears in one of my videos down below in the description box, and we're going to hear from him in just a little bit. But a big thanks to him for appearing in this video, and I look forward to hearing his thoughts. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on Gravity. When this movie first came out, I remember seeing the previews for it in theaters. It always seemed really interesting. I think if you've been watching this channel for a while, beyond me just being a movie fan, I think it's pretty clear that I'm a big fan of sci-fi. So yeah, you know, you have great actors like Sandra Bullock and you have George Clooney, and then it takes place in space. And why wouldn't I have watched this movie? I really don't know. I don't remember the reason, but I just never got around to seeing it while it was in theaters. And I actually found the Blu-ray at Walmart for like $5 a little bit over a year ago, and it's just been sitting in my collection. And it took me this long to finally just pop it in. And I don't really know why that is. There was always something about the film that intrigued me, and I really wanted to see it. But it's just a movie that I continued to kind of push to the side. But I finally took the time to watch it, and man, am I excited that I finally checked it out. This movie has a great message about letting go in life and uses space as a really great metaphor for that. On top of that, you have great performances and really great special effects. There's moments where some of the special effects look a little cartoony compared to our actors, but for the most part, it's absolutely stunning. It looks really good, and I think this is a movie that definitely stands the test of time, not only on a performance level and a special effects level, but on a narrative level. It's very different. It's a very unique space film, and I really thoroughly enjoy that. At the beginning of the film, we get just a bunch of little small talk moments with our main characters. You have George Clooney and Sandra Bullock kind of just talking along with the other people that they are there in space with. You know, astronauts are doing what astronauts do, where they're outside of the satellites or the ships that they're working on, pressing buttons and doing stuff that I honestly have no idea what it is that they actually do when they're doing that. But yeah, the movie opens, we see them doing their work on the outside of the ship or the satellite that they're there on. And what I really enjoy about the opening of the film is that we get to spend time with the characters, just kind of having some small talk, kind of a little bit of a basis of who these characters are. And not too long into the film, Houston lets them know that, hey, there's debris that's in space. It's actually hit one of the satellites, and the way it's moving, it may hit you guys eventually. At first, it kind of seems like a be careful kind of warning, and as the film progresses, not too much longer into the film, it ends up becoming a huge problem, and it hits them before they even know it. They end up getting a last-minute warning from Houston, but by that time, it's way too late. And what I really thoroughly enjoyed about this scene is that because you can't hear stuff in space, because it's silent in space, we get this really great moment where it really focuses on Sandra Bullock as all of this debris is coming and destroying the ship that they're on, killing some of the other astronauts that they're with, and just they're now in this chaos. They're in this chaos as things are kind of exploding and being shattered around them, but all you can hear is the breath of Sandra Bullock's character. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the way that they did that on a sound editing level. Being able to just kind of watch the movie and have these sounds that you know should be there, and there's kind of like a muffled kind of sound when they hit things that have a lot of impact, but for the most part, most of it is very silent, and you have these characters just breathing and talking amidst this chaos that's happening around them. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the way that the opening of the film went. And yeah, right after that, you end up having Sandra Bullock's character and George Clooney just out there alone. They're kind of stuck in the middle of space, and they have to work to get to different stations, and there's tons of stuff that ends up happening. And yeah, this is a movie about people just being stranded in space without having the ability to get into a ship that's working, and they kind of have to work with what they have to get to a different station, to different ships, using the little bit of fuel for the jetpacks that they have. And yeah, it's a really great movie that I found to be really tense. The performances are really great. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, come on. I mean, two incredible actors. I mean, I think nobody can deny that. I really thoroughly enjoyed their performances in this film. And I think that the real heart of the story really lies with Sandra Bullock's character. The tagline of this film that you see on the poster says, "Don't let go." And it's not long to the film that we learned about a tragedy with Sandra Bullock's character, a tragedy with a child that she had. And she kind of just gave up on life. And she decided to become an astronaut and kind of go to space to just get away from everything, to get away from everyone. She's this broken individual who doesn't really care about being amongst the people again. She wants to be kind of in silence. And though it is this extreme that she decided to want to become an astronaut to try to get as far away from the world as she could, it is a metaphor that I think we can all kind of relate to, where there's just times where we're broken in our lives, and you kind of distance yourself. You want to be in silence. You want to be away from people. And in the end of the day, all you have there is darkness, your own thoughts, and you're never really growing. You know what I mean? And I think that this movie definitely leans heavily on that message of letting go of these things that hold us down, letting go of these memories that don't allow us to grow, these negative thoughts, maybe blaming ourselves or feeling self-pity. And I think that this movie does a great job of taking this really over-the-top crazy sci-fi adventure that feels pretty realistic. Now, of course, there could probably be elements about this that just astronauts would think do not work at all. It doesn't make any sense, but I have no knowledge on that, so I can't speak on that. But as a movie on its own, I think it's a great sci-fi film with a lot of drama, great performances, incredible special effects, and I just thoroughly really enjoy the character journey of learning to let go. You know, there is this relief by the end of the film for Sandra Bullock's character, and I think that they really tackled that theme really, really well. Now that I've rambled quite a bit about my thoughts on this movie, let's go ahead and hear what Mike from the Z Review had to say about this.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the Z Review, and I've been asked by my friend Anthony A. Perez to collab on this video, which I couldn't be more excited for. This is my first ever collaboration, and he's asked me for my opinion on the movie Gravity that came out in 2013 and stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Now, if you're like me and you've never seen this film and it's taken you 7 or maybe even more years after this review to watch this movie, I will say this. Go watch it now. So this movie, I heard a lot about it, and I remember when this actually came out at the cinema at the time. But I love a good space exploration movie, kind of like, you know, films like The Martian, Interstellar, Armageddon, Apollo 13, and so many more others. So yeah, I love a space movie. I've never ever wanted to be an astronaut, so the people who are actually astronauts in real life, I admire them so much. And the fact that Hollywood bring that kind of feeling to movies like this is just truly incredible. And this film, without a doubt, is a cinematic masterpiece. When I read up on this movie after watching it, out of the 10 Academy Awards and Oscars it was nominated for, it won 7 of them, which is an incredible number for any movie to achieve. The best part of this movie is 100% the choice of casting Sandra Bullock as Ryan Stone. So in this movie, she gives an incredible performance that is so believable. And without going into too many spoilers, there's certain aspects for me in terms of like a real life kind of scary moment is those real life events. So in this film, when she's running out of oxygen, for example, and that looks as if it's faded from her face or faded from her body, it's just really incredible. I liked that the director captured that a lot. I also read up that on set they had to go into a mechanical rig to shoot these scenes, and she spent most days 10 hours in this rig. So it just goes to show what kind of dedicated performance and how much this film must have meant to her to actually be a part of, to kind of give that effort. And it clearly goes to show on the screen. Now, this movie is made up of also 80% of CG effects, which there is odd little frames, you can tell that, I would say, especially at the beginning with this, like the spacecraft, you can kind of tell. But besides that, just the scenes captured with the director, where even just the Earth is a huge back shot of this protagonist struggling with one thing or another throughout this movie, is truly a sight to behold. And if you guys have never seen this movie before, I really recommend checking this out. It's honestly such a great space movie, and definitely if you were to make like a top 10 list of great space movies, this would definitely capture a place in that list for me, and hopefully will for you guys if you've either seen this or you're about to check this out. But once again, thanks to my friend Anthony A. Perez for asking me to collab on this video. I look forward to working with him more in the future, should I get the opportunity to do so. Thanks, guys.
A big thanks to the Z Review for being here in this video. As usual, guys, you can find the link to anybody who appears in my channel down below in the description box. Go give him some love. Let him know I sent you. He's still got a growing channel just like mine, so definitely go subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to both of our channels, and I definitely look forward to having Mike here on the channel again. A big thanks to you. And let's go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on Gravity. This, for me, is just a really great sci-fi film with some great dramatic elements and a great message about letting go. I think that we all have things in our life that kind of bog us down. Maybe we're not always open about it. Maybe sometimes it's just something that we keep inside. Maybe you're not to this extreme where you like to be kind of secluded from people. But I think depending on the level of trauma, the level of heartache that these events bring onto our lives, it's going to have everybody react a different way. And so I love the fact that this film definitely, hones in on the idea of what happens when you don't let go. You know what I mean? How it can really change who you are and how you will be better for it when you do let go. So it's a hard thing to hear. It's a hard thing to do. It's easier said than done. I think this movie does a great job of hitting the nail right on the head as far as the message of letting go. I think you have great performances, great special effects. Though I forgot to mention earlier, but one thing that I found to be kind of funny at times is because of the fact that the astronaut suits that they're in are mainly CG, outside of like the thing that they have over their head, there are a few moments where the body looks a little cartoonish compared to the face, so it kind of looks like a floating head on a cartoon body. But that's a bit of a nitpick because I think for the most part this film is visually beautiful. I really thoroughly enjoyed all the shots in space. I enjoyed the sound editing, the whole fact that you can't hear things in space, so when there is all this destruction around the characters, you really can't hear it, and it's just kind of muffled sounds of impact. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the sound editing. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the somber tone and just the way that they handled the message of letting go. I think that's the main thing that I took away from this film, because I know I have a problem sometimes letting go of past things that don't even matter anymore, things that sometimes just kind of pop up here and there. And I think that a message of letting go is something that we can all relate to, and I think this movie does a really great job with that. And then, of course, like I said, Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, great film. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. So thank you for watching me ramble. Thank you for checking out Mike here in this video as well. You guys can find the link to his channel down below. Hit that like button on this video if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.